Recovery day, not a day off, a different kind of work. The recovery day used to feel like failure. Rhythm like something available only to people who weren't serious. Rhythm mysterious. Convert happened when I read the science. Rhythm the defiance of more is recovery. Rhythm that's the discovery. Recovery day, the discipline of less. Rhythm, this is part of progress, not absence from it. Recovery day, the underrated session. Rhythm, learning every lesson about what the body does when you step back. Rhythm, repair along the track of adaptation, protein synthesis. Rhythm, the genesis of the next week. Strength is happening now. Rhythm, recovery day, take a bow. Take a bow. I walk on recovery days, stretch, sleep right. Rhythm, do the things that invite the body to repair what training broke. Rhythm, every spoke of the wheel is necessary, rest included. Rhythm, recovery is not excluded from the program, it's embedded in the best ones. Rhythm, recovery lessons, walk, stretch, sleep, repair, rebuild. Rhythm, the recovery field is where strength grows. Recovery day, the underrated session. Rhythm, learning every lesson about what the body does when you step back. Rhythm, repair along the track of adaptation, protein synthesis. Rhythm, the genesis of the next week. Strength is happening now. Rhythm, recovery day, take a bow. Take a bow. The gains don't happen during training. Rhythm, they happen during recovery. Train hard, recover harder. Rhythm, both are the program, neither is optional. Recovery day is training day. Recovery day, active rest. Rhythm, repair, rebuild, come back stronger. Recovery is part of the program. Honor it, honor it, honor it, honor it. First plate, 20 kilos. Felt like the world, now it's warm up. I remember the first time I loaded the bar. Didn't know how far 20 kilos felt like a mountain to me. Nobody could see the version I was planning to become. When I was told the sum of everything I hadn't done yet. First plate, no regret. First plate loaded, first step taken. Rhythm bass, the silence broken. The first plate was the hardest one to lift. Not because of weight, but because of the shift required in how I saw myself that day. The first plate said I'm doing this my way. The bass drops and I think about that bar. The first plate, how far? From 20 kilos to wherever this goes. The first plate, only the beginner knows. Yeah, I see beginners now and recognize rhythm, the same uncertain eyes I had when everything was new and hard. Rhythm, before the callous hands, before the chalk, before the knowing look. Rhythm, before I understood the book of iron, I was them. First plate loaded. Rhythm, before the journey eroded. Remember the beginning, remember the wait. Rhythm bass, remember that first plate. The first plate was the hardest one to lift. Instead I'm doing this my way. The bass drops and I think about that bar. The first plate, how far? From 20 kilos to wherever this goes. The first plate, only the beginner knows. 20 kilos, something like the world. Now I warm up with it and forget it's there. That's the only progress that matters. The first plate is always waiting for someone new to feel what you felt. First plate, 20 kilos, felt like everything. Now it's nothing. Keep going. 6 a.m. Nobody here. This is mine. There's something about an empty gym at 6. Hard style. Before the day begins to fix itself into the shape of everything demanded. Hard style. Before I'm commanded by the inbox and the meeting and the list. Hard style. In the quiet I exist as just a person with a bar and time. Hard style. Nothing else is mine. Empty gym, empty mind. Hard style. Leave it all behind. The empty gym at 6 is where I go. Hard style. When the world won't let me know who I am outside of what I do for others. Hard style. Where I remember that I existed before the role I play. The empty gym at 6 is where I stay until I find myself again in the way. Hard style. Empty gym. My mental state. My mental state. My 7, it fills up and I don't mind. Hard style. I've already found the version of the day I need to be. Hard style. The empty gym set me free for 1 hour from everything outside. Hard style. Nowhere left to hide from who I actually am, and I'm okay. Hard style. Ready for the day. 1 hour. Just me. Hard style. Sets me free. The empty gym at 6 is where I go. Hard style. When the world won't let me know who I am outside of what I do for others. Hard style. Where I remember that I existed before the role I play. The empty gym at 6 is where I stay until I find myself again in the wait. Hard style. Empty gym. My mental state. My mental state. People ask why I wake up so early. Hard style. The answer isn't discipline. It's that the empty gym at 6 is the only hour of the day that belongs entirely to me. Hard style. Protect that hour.
then I give the rest away.
You can lie to everyone else. The bar always tells the truth. Yeah. I tried to skip the hard sets for a month. Heavy bass. Telling myself that once I caught up on sleep, I go back to the program. Heavy bass. The bar didn't telegram. It's disappointment, it just waited there. Heavy bass. The same weight in the air. This last month hadn't moved an inch. Heavy bass. That was the clinch. The weight doesn't care about your reasons. Heavy bass. Every season tells the truth. The weight doesn't lie the way that I do. Heavy bass. The plates know what's true about the effort and the consistency. Heavy bass. They keep an honest history of every session done and every skip. Heavy bass. Nothing can be flipped or spun or justified with the bar. Heavy bass. The weight knows what you are. Got back to the program, third week of the month. Heavy bass, felt the blunt truth of what a month of skipping does. Heavy bass, it just was what it was. Lighter than before, start again. Heavy bass, count it as the win. I decided honesty with the bar. Heavy bass, that's the standard, that's the bar. No excuses with the plates. Heavy bass, the bar waits honestly. The weight doesn't lie the way that I do. Heavy bass, the plates know what's true about the effort and the consistency. Heavy bass, they keep an honest history of every session done and every skip. Heavy bass, nothing can be flipped or spun or justified with the bar. Heavy bass, the weight knows what you are. Best feedback system I've ever used. Heavy bass is the bar. It never flatters, never lies, never adjusts for your feelings. Heavy bass, the bar just tells you what you did. The bar knows. Heavy bass, be honest with the bar first and yourself. Nobody gets rich overnight. Nobody gets strong overnight. Same principle, show up daily. Day one, the deposit feels like nothing. Rhythm. One session, something so small against the goal ahead. Rhythm. But the compound said that small deposits daily over years. Rhythm. It's how the body clears the gap between the starting point and grade. Rhythm. Compound interest weight. Small deposit every day. Rhythm. Compound interest on its way. The body is a compound interest machine. Rhythm. Every session in between where you started and where you want to be. Rhythm. Adds invisibly to the total that reveals itself one day. Rhythm. When someone looks your way and asks what changed, the answer is nothing special. Rhythm. Just daily compound interest. Month 3, nothing visible yet. Rhythm. Easy to forget that compound interest front loads the invisible. Rhythm. Making it permissible to doubt before the curve begins to show. Rhythm. Month 6, you start to know the deposits are accumulating fast. Rhythm's compound interest built to last. Trust the process, trust the math. Rhythm. Compound interest does the math. The body is a compound interest machine. Rhythm. Every session in between, where you started and where you want to be. Rhythm. Adds invisibly to the total that reveals itself one day. Rhythm. When someone looks your way and asks what changed, the answer is nothing special. Rhythm.
Just daily compound interest.
Warren Buffett said,
Compound interest.
is the eighth wonder of the world.
Rhythm.
The body agrees
Show up daily.
for long enough, and the math does the rest.
Rhythm. Trust the mind.
Day one, nothing visible. Day 500, everything visible.
Rhythm. Compound interest. Show up daily. The body you have now is the youngest it will ever be. Train it. I watched my father slow down at 55. Hard style. The lesson arrived like a bass drop I wasn't prepared for. Hard style. Every session more intentional after that afternoon. Hard style. The body doesn't postpone its decline while you delay the word. Hard style. The clock doesn't lurk. Borrow time. Train while you can. Hard style. That's the plan. The vow. The person who says I'll start when hard style is always finding when another reason to delay the start. Hard style. The borrowed time departs regardless of the readiness to use it. Hard style. You can't refuse it. Time takes back what it lent without warning. Hard style. Borrow wisely every morning. The body depreciates. Train before it does. Hard style. Now, not later. Because we're all on borrowed time with these bodies. Hard style. Nobody got a copy of the maintenance manual that explains hard style. How many campaigns of hard training we have left in us. Hard style. Without making a fuss, I choose to use the ones I have right now. Hard style. Borrowed time. That's the vow. I wanna be 70 and still be able. Hard style. The deposits I make today are the withdrawals I'll take at 70. Hard style. Borrow wisely. Train now. The youngest your body will ever be is today. Hard style. Borrow the time. Use it well.
Nobody clapped, nobody saw. Kept going anyway. I posted a transformation once and got heavy bass. 17 likes, a lot of silence from the people that I knew. Heavy bass and something in me grew. Uncomfortable with needing that to matter. Heavy bass, heard them mirrors shatter. The illusion that the validation meant. Heavy bass, something, what was meant. The mirror doesn't clap, the bar doesn't like your post. Heavy bass, what matters most is what you know. The mirror doesn't clap, but it doesn't lie. Heavy bass, it gives you the reply to every question honestly and plain. Heavy bass, no follows to maintain, no algorithm adjusting what you see. Heavy bass, just you in the body. You've been building in the quiet without witness. Heavy bass, the mirror is the fitness. I deleted the fitness post 6 months ago. Heavy bass, something started to grow in the sessions without the documentation. Heavy bass, pure concentration on the feeling of the photograph. Heavy bass, doing the math of real progress without external measure. Heavy bass, finding my own treasure. Train for the mirror, not the feed. Heavy bass, that's all you need, yourself. The mirror doesn't clap, but it doesn't lie. Heavy bass, it gives you the reply to every question honestly and plain. Heavy bass, no follows to maintain, no algorithm adjusting what you see. Heavy bass, just you and the body. You've been building in the quiet without witness. Heavy bass, the mirror is the fitness. The most powerful training motivation. Heavy bass is a mirror and a memory of where you started. Heavy bass, no audience required, just you and the honest glass. Every morning 17 likes didn't build this. Heavy bass, the mirror did. In the sessions nobody saw.
4 a.m. The city's still sleeping. I'm already here. The alarm goes at 4 and the choice is simple. Rhythm, the comfortable and the principle of who I said I'd be when I set the alarm. Rhythm, navigating the calm of the sleeping house, the dark outside. Rhythm, nowhere left to hide from the vision of myself that set this time. Rhythm, 4 a.m. that's mine. 4 a.m. Nobody competing. Rhythm, nobody's even awake yet. 4 a.m. is the most honest hour. Rhythm, stripped of every power that the day puts on you from outside. Rhythm, nothing left to hide behind. At 4 a.m. it's just a choice you make. Rhythm, everything at stake is decided in the moment between alarm and bed. Rhythm, 4 a.m. inside your head. By the time the city wakes at 7, rhythm, I've already been in heaven and hell of a session, showered, fed. Rhythm, I had by hours in my head of the days, demands, the meetings, the noise. Rhythm, the morning quiet gives a poise to everything that follows 4 a.m. Rhythm, I do it over again, ahead by hours, ahead by reps. Rhythm, 4 a.m. the best investment. 4 a.m. is the most honest hour. Rhythm, stripped of every power that the day puts on you from outside. Rhythm, nothing left to hide behind. At 4 a.m. it's just a choice you make. Rhythm, everything at stake is decided in the moment between alarm and bed. Rhythm, 4 a.m. inside your head. The world gives you 24 hours. Rhythm, same as everyone else. different one. Rhythm, the quiet hours belong to no one else. If you claim them, 4 a.m. is yours. 4 a.m. The city sleeps, rhythm. I'm already 2 hours in. See you at 7 ahead. Deload week. Hardest week of the program to actually do. Yeah. Everything in me wants to go heavy. Heavy bass, but the program said be ready to pull back half the weight, half the sets. Heavy bass, this is where it gets counterintuitive for someone like me. Heavy bass, who defines the free? Time is wasted, rest is weakness. Heavy bass, fighting the bleakness. Half the way feels like failure. Heavy bass, but the data says otherwise. Deload week is where the gains are made. Heavy bass, everything displayed in the weeks that follow the recovery. Heavy bass, the discovery that the adaptation happens in the rest. Heavy bass, not the stress. Sessions where the body never heals. Heavy bass, deload week is real. Week after deload, I PR3 lifts. Heavy bass, the body gifts the rest period back with compound interest. Heavy bass, the science suggests that the rest is where the muscle builds. Heavy bass, the deload fills the account that the hard weeks would draw from. Heavy bass, deload, welcome. Rest is training, rest is gains. Heavy bass, rest remains. The heart is disciplined. Deload week is where the gains are made. Heavy bass, everything displayed in the weeks that follow the recovery. Heavy bass, the discovery that the adaptation happens in the rest. Heavy bass, not the stress. Sessions where the body never heals. Heavy bass, deload week is real. The hardest thing for someone who loves training. Heavy bass is doing less intentionally. Deload week is not weakness, it's the discipline of trust in the process. Heavy bass, rest is training too. Deload week. Have to wait. Heavy bass. Double the gains the week after. Trust it.
Chalk on the hands. The ritual begins. Every time. There's a ritual before the heavy lift.
Hard style.
The chalk gives a shift in mindset from the person walking in
Hard style.
to the one about to begin. Something that requires complete presence.
Hard style.
The chalk's effervescence on the hand signals to the brain.
Hard style.
It's time again. Chalk on hands. Ritual complete. Hard style. Ready to compete with yesterday.
Chalk hands.
The ceremony of the ready. Hard style and steady on the bar that's loaded heavy After the set, the chalk marks on the bar, hard style, show exactly where. The hands were the grip, the contact point, hard style. Every joint of the process leaving its mark on things, hard style. The chalk brings an honesty to the grip, no slipping allowed, hard style. Chalk speaks loud, chalk on the bar, proof of the grip, hard style. No slip, no excuses. Chalk hands, the ceremony of the ready, hard style and steady on the ball that's loaded heavier than last time, hard style. Every climb begins with the ritual of preparation, hard style. The chalk sensation on the palms is the signal to begin. Chalk hands, hard style. Let me in. The chalk ritual takes 15 seconds, hard style, and shifts something in the mind, from person walking in to athlete about to lift, hard style. The chalk is the transition between the two. Chalk on hands, every time. Hard style, the ritual signals the mind, it's time.
Lift.
Lift.
Progressive overload. The only way. Add weight or add reps. Every week. The body adapts to exactly what you give it. Rhythm. Nothing more, you live it. At the edge of what you did last time. Rhythm. One more rep, one more climbing weight, one less rest between the sets. Rhythm. That's the only path that gets you from where you are to where you want. Rhythm. Progressive overload the fun. More than last week. Every week. Rhythm. That's the technique. Nothing else. Progressive overload. The boring truth. Rhythm. Behind every proof of transformation that you've ever seen. Rhythm. Behind the lean. Rhythm. The muscled body on the other side. Rhythm. There's no ride other than adding more than yesterday. Rhythm. Progressive overload. The only way. Tried every program for 3 years. Rhythm. Cutting through the gears of periodization and the splits. Rhythm. None of it fits. Better than a simple rule of more. Rhythm. Keeping honest score. What I did last week and beating it. Rhythm. That's the bit. Beat last week. Every week. Rhythm. That's the technique. Nothing else. Progressive overload. The boring truth. Rhythm. Behind every proof of transformation that you've ever seen. Rhythm. Behind the lean. Rhythm. A muscled body on the other side. Rhythm. There's no right other than adding more than yesterday. Rhythm. Progressive overload. The only way. One more rep than last week. Rhythm. That's the whole program, everything else is just details. Progressive overload is the method, the rest is perfect. Rhythm. Add more than yesterday. beautiful truth. Mr. Lift. Good. Now I know where the ceiling is. I missed the lift in front of everyone last Tuesday. Heavy bass, the old me would've run away from the gym for a week of embarrassment. Heavy bass, instead the management of the information was immediate. Heavy bass, the miss was the edit. I needed the ceiling clearly marked. Heavy bass, failure in the dark. Missed the lift, learn the limit. Heavy bass, now begin it from that point. Failure is data, not a verdict on you. Heavy bass, the lift you couldn't do. Tells you exactly where to focus next. Heavy bass, failure is the text of the program you've been writing with your body. Heavy bass, read it. Nobody gets stronger without finding out the limit. Heavy bass, failure is information. The lifters who never miss are playing safe. Heavy bass, never in the chafe of the actual edge of their capacity. Heavy bass, the audacity of missing publicly is the price of knowing. Heavy bass, exactly where you're going when you leave the safe zone of the certain. Heavy bass, failure lifts the curtain. Miss publicly, learn faster. Heavy bass, failure is the master of the program. Failure is data, not a verdict on you. Heavy bass, the lift you couldn't do. Tells you exactly where to focus next. Heavy bass, failure is the text of the program you've been writing with your body. Heavy bass, read it. Nobody gets stronger without finding out the limit. Heavy bass, failure is information. The best athletes in the world miss lifts. Heavy bass, they don't go home, they take notes. Failure told them something the successes couldn't. Heavy bass, miss the lift, take the note, come back. Miss the lift, good data. Heavy bass, come back with the information and try again. Failure is the teacher.
Day 47. Don't feel like it. The program says go. The program wins. I don't make decisions on training days. Hard style. The program says what happens, how many, what weight. Hard style. I show up, don't debate with the spreadsheet about weather today. Hard style. Is a good day or a day? I'd rather skip. The program doesn't care. Hard style. The program's always there. The program decides, not the mood. Hard style, that's the attitude that builds. Trust the program on the days you don't feel it. Hard style. produces the best adaptation in the shortest, honest time. Hardstyle. The program is not mine to improve the feelings about the day. Hardstyle. Trust it, obey. Feelings lie, programs don't. Hardstyle. Programs won't let you skip what you need. Trust the program on the days you don't feel it. Hardstyle. The science designed it for the person who doesn't wanna go. Hardstyle. The program knows that motivation comes and goes like weather. Hardstyle. Structure is the tether that keeps you training when the feeling leaves. Hardstyle. Trust the program. Believe. Motivation is a visitor. Hardstyle. The program is the resident. When the visitor leaves, the program stays. Hardstyle. Trust the resident, not the visitor. Day 47. Don't feel like it. Hardstyle. The program says go. Day 47. Completely. Trust the program.
Month 3, nothing visible yet. Keep going. This is where most people stop. Yeah. The invisible phase is the most important. Heavy bass. The most unfortunately forgotten part of the process with a foundation. Heavy bass. The whole creation of what will eventually be visible. Heavy bass is building in the physical beneath the surface in the neurology. Heavy bass. The body's apology. Nothing to show yet. Everything building. Heavy bass. The underground filling up. Before the results, there's a phase nobody sees. Heavy bass. Where the body agrees to start investing in the version ahead. Heavy bass. Invisible instead of the dramatic transformation people want. Heavy bass. The invisible font of progress is where most people quit. Heavy bass. Before the results. Before the split, I almost quit at month 2. Heavy bass. Nothing was new in the mirror, nothing to post, nothing to show. Heavy bass. But something below the surface was compiling, running, building. Heavy bass. The body was filling the program with adaptation unseen. Heavy bass. Month 4, the scream. Month 2, quit. Month 4, result. Heavy bass. The invisible adult phase builds fast. Before the results, there's a phase nobody sees. Heavy bass. Where the body agrees to start investing in the version ahead. Heavy bass. Invisible instead of the dramatic transformation people want. Heavy bass. The invisible font of progress is where most people quit. Heavy bass. Before the results. Before the split. The people who quit at month 2 never see month 4. Heavy bass. The people who reach month 4 can't believe they almost quit at month 2. Heavy bass. The invisible phase is the most important phase. Stay in it long enough to see the other side. Month 2, nothing visible. Heavy bass. Month 4, everything visible phase. Long enough. Heavy bass. It always shows up. Eventually.
Last set of everything today. This is the one that defines the session. Every session has a moment of truth. Hardstyle, and the proof of what the session was is in the last set. Hardstyle, not the warm-up, not the best set. In the middle when the energy was high. Hardstyle, the last set is why you came today, the set after the wanting to stop. Hardstyle, the final drop. Last set, this session's definition. Hardstyle, this is the decision of who you are. The last set is forever in the body. Hardstyle, nobody shoddy. Last set gets a pass, the bar doesn't care. Hardstyle, the body's aware of every rep completed after wanting to quit. Hardstyle, that's the bit that builds something different from the easy reps. Hardstyle, last set, no regrets. I've walked out of sessions without the last set. Hardstyle, and I've never yet felt good about it walking to the car. Hardstyle, the last set is the bar for how I feel about myself that evening. Hardstyle, the body's believing in the version that finishes what it starts. Hardstyle, that's where strength imparts. Finish what you started every time. Hard style, the last set draws the line. Draws the line. The last set is forever in the body. Hardstyle, nobody shoddy. Last set gets a pass, the bar doesn't care. Hardstyle, the body's aware of every rep completed after wanting to quit. Hardstyle, that's the bit that builds something different from the easy reps. Hardstyle, last set, no regrets. No regrets. The last set isn't about fitness. Hardstyle, it's about character. The person who finishes when everything says stop. Hardstyle, it's the person who finishes in every other area too. Last set defines more than the session. Last set done. Hardstyle, session complete. That's the one that mattered most. Last set, forever in the body.
Every rep today is a message to the version of you 6 months from now. I train for a version of myself I haven't met. Heavy bass, the version that I've set as the standard for where this is going. Heavy bass, the version I'm not showing anyone yet because it isn't done. Heavy bass, the version under construction in every session that the present funds. Heavy bass, the future self that comes, building the future version, rep by rep. Heavy bass, every step toward who you'll be. The version you're building doesn't exist yet. Heavy bass, you haven't met the person that today's session creates. Heavy bass, the person who its way. Months ago, I didn't know the version. Heavy bass, the current person. Standing here would be this different. Heavy bass, the magnificent surprise of who you become when you show up. Heavy bass, every close-up of the future self begins in sessions now. Heavy bass, building the version somehow. 6 months ago, didn't know this version. Heavy bass, the current person is the proof. The version you're building doesn't exist yet. Heavy bass, heavy bass, you haven't met the person that today's session creates. Heavy bass, heavy bass, the person who waits 6 months from now to be revealed. Heavy bass, completely healed of every limitation that you have today. The version you're building is on its way. Every rep today is a deposit. Heavy bass into the account of who you'll be 6 months from now. The version you're building doesn't know you yet. Doesn't know you yet. Heavy bass, but you're building them every session. Keep going, they're worth it. 6 months from now, you'll meet the version. Heavy bass, you've been building every session. That version is grateful you didn't quit today. Heavy bass, keep going. Keep going.